Hello, everyone. We are live, and it is Wednesday. And I got this big jacket on because it's cold here. It was raining. So, this is the first time I've had to wear a jacket here in Southern California. Anyway, welcome. Beautiful souls coming back. Day 17 of our journey of 30 days, actually, which has actually been a longer than I thought it was going to be. And I hope you're digging in with me and doing okay with this process. You're moving from shame to empowerment. Worth the work, wouldn't you say? So today I called this one Why Connection is the Antidote to Isolation. And we're going to talk about one of the most powerful truths you're ever going to learn about healing, really, and that is that shame is a disconnector. We've talked about that, and connection heals. And when we're caught in shame, we isolate and hide, and we convince ourselves that nobody's going to understand how we feel. But when we allow ourselves to be seen by someone safe, something shifts at a very deep level of our being. So, shame is a master of disconnection. Its favorite lie is this: if they really knew me, they would leave. That thought is like a wall between you and the rest of the world. It keeps you small, guarded, and alone. And here's the truth: connection is the antidote. When you are met with empathy and genuine, grounded empathy by someone else, your brain and your body literally start to heal. Neuroscience calls this co regulation. It means your nervous system responds to each other. When you sit with someone calm and caring and present, your own nervous system begins to mirror that safety. That is what a good coach can do for you, and it's often called holding space. That's why healing rarely happens in isolation. You can read every book on the planet, meditate or journal by yourself, but at some point you need human connection, someone to look at you and say, you're worthy, you are still worthy, you are still enough, because words matter. This connection is an energy that exists between people when they feel seen and heard, which is why it's so needed. Why everybody you know needs to be seen and heard for who they truly are and valued. I call that offering sacred space. It really is what a good coach can do for you. And it's very valuable because it will dissolve shame in a way that it doesn't have any control over you anymore. So those are literal life transformations that don't have to be painful, don't have to take a lot of work. Just set up the right scenario and you can get it done. So, think about this. Have you ever cried in front of someone and expected rejection, but instead they just stayed with you? Has that ever happened for you? I mean, it'd be really sad if you're saying no, right? Like, I know how it feels. It took a long time for me to find somebody who could understand who I was, who I felt really got me, could see me and hear me. So that's not unusual, and you shouldn't feel bad about it for sure. But just know that um, this person, they're when they hold space for you, they don't say much. I mean, they nodded or they reached out for your hand at the right moment, and something inside you just exhales for the first time. That's the connection I'm talking about. That's what dissolves the shame. They see you for who you are, and you don't have to hide anything anymore. You can let go of it. That's your nervous system realizing, okay, I'm safe. I can let go of this. The part of ourselves we hide in shame can't transform until they're met with loving awareness, first by ourselves and then by another. So this is a gift we can offer our friends. If you have the gift of deep listening and you can allow someone to be seen and heard and felt by creating that space of listening, deep, deep listening, you are offering one of the biggest gifts you can give a person. And some people get paid to do it. That's good. It's very helpful. The part of ourselves that we hide in shame, it's difficult to transform until you find that person who will give you the loving awareness. Like I'm saying that again, I realize I've said it before, but it's very critical in this work that you do have somebody that connects with you. Connection doesn't fix your pain, it just holds it, like a hug, like a hug. And holding that is what heals it. And because we live in a culture that prizes independence, right? But true strength is interdependence. Healing happens in spaces where you can say, I'm struggling, and someone says, I get it. You're not alone. It doesn't seem like it would be so hard to ask, right? Or so hard to give. But we're so busy and the world is so chaotic that we hardly take the time to do it. And we have to do it for ourselves as well. That's really important. You think you don't need it, you think you can get away with it, it's no big deal. You need it. So, yes, connection does take courage because being vulnerable takes courage. It always does. Just remember, every time you allow yourself to be seen, you teach your body that it's safe to belong again. So, let's do our reflection. Take a deep breath. 4 in, exhale out. 8. That's always a double exhalation is always a relaxing breath. And ask yourself, here's the question for today. Who helps me feel seen and safe? Who listens without fixing me? Do you have someone like that? Do you have a friend like that? If you don't, find a coach. They get paid to understand how to do that. But I bet you can think of one person who can offer you that kind of compassion when you don't need judgment. Don't go to somebody who's going to judge you or you think they might. Don't go to them. Go to the person that is full of compassion and knows how to hold that. So do that practice with somebody and then pay attention. What does it feel like in your body when they didn't turn away from you? Does it feel like warmth? Does it feel like you're released, you're relaxed? Kind of a peace that words have a hard time capturing? Let yourself feel the memories of thinking about that person for a moment, and that's what safety feels like. Just get a perspective or a reference point for what that feels like in your body. So the task for today is I'm going to invite you to reconnect with yourself and with someone who's earned your trust. Just reach out to one person. Send a message, make a call, or say thank you for being in my life to this friend who is capable of giving you that sacred gift. And if you don't have that person right now, go to the Shiro's journey. Literally, there are people in there that can help you. If they won't, I will. It's a safe place to share your truth and be met with compassion, because shame really unravels the moment you realize you're not alone in it. Shame says you don't belong. Connection says you are safe with me. Can you feel the difference? Let that truth settle in your heart today. Tomorrow we're going to talk about vulnerability. That's a sacred act of saying I want, I need, or this matters to me without shame attached to it. Okay, because every time you show up with openness, you strengthen that bridge between your heart and the world outside you. Okay, hope you're doing well. Thank you for showing up today. See you tomorrow. The videos will be in the Shiro's Journey group. If you aren't a member, join up. It's free. Okay. Talk to you later.